Hello there. Today I am looking at some of my prop replica lightsabers, specifically these Darth Maul ones, because they have a minor issue that needs to be repaired, and it's nothing big, but I'll show you in a few minutes and explain it. But first I figured I'd talk about these prop replicas overall here. These were made by a company called Master Replicas, and they held the Star Wars license from 2002 to 2007, and they really kind of started me down this rabbit hole of collecting prop replica lightsabers, and mainly because the company was really good. They, you could put in a pre-order, and then they were very reasonable with their times from the pre-order to when they shipped it out and delivered it. The quality of the work was outstanding, and they just did an overall job. Now, granted, for a lot of collectors, this is stuff that's, pretty high end. Like these 1-to-1 scale sabers like this one. This is actually a signature edition. It comes with a plaque with Ray Park's signature on it. They were numbered, limited editions. So yeah, they were going to be pretty pricey. And luckily, I had the means at the time to get stuff like this, and I was able to pick it up. But for those that maybe couldn't spend the money on something like this, they also had these 0.45 scale, which also look great. Now, granted, they're not, look like the actual movie prop. They're a little, obviously scaled down, but still, they had amazing detail. I mean, this is the one, it's like a battle damage was, in the Phantom Menace when Obi-Wan cuts it in half, and they have a nice little touch of, you can see the kyber crystal sitting in there, and these were much more reasonably priced. I mean, matter of fact, I actually started collecting these sabers, and it started with an exclusive at Star Wars Celebration 3. It was the year Revenge of the Sith was coming out. I had a friend that was going to Celebration, and I asked him if he could pick me up this dark chrome Obi-Wan Revenge of the Sith hilt, and it's a fantastic looking piece, and it really kind of started me down this rabbit hole of collecting these sabers. And so I got a bunch of the 0.45 scale ones, and then eventually I started getting, I didn't get all of them, but I did get a bunch of the 1-to-1 scale, like this Darth Maul. I ended up getting, I've got a few Obi-Wans, if you can see them, because they display so well, but if you look at my room tour, they're definitely in there, and just fantastic pieces. Eventually they also started making the Force, they were the ones that started the Force Effects lightsabers that the Black Series are modeled after now, and they did some great work there too. I mean, you can also see those in my room tour along with my Sabi saber, and there's a couple of Black Series obviously in there as well. But anyway, let's get to the reason I have these three out. Like I said, there is a minor issue with them, and they come with these, like, they're supposed to be like a plastic or rubber O-ring around parts of these gaskets. Unfortunately, these get kind of dry rotted and they break off, which you can see here. It's happened here. So there's supposed to be one here, here, and here. Now, it's one thing, it seems to be only on my full-size versions here, that the entire hilt, this battle damaged hilt. Now, I have Master Replica also made like these small acrylic cases. I have them on the credenza on my desk here, and again, you can see that in the room tour as well. But on this one, the gaskets look just fine. So you can see here, they look really good. Nothing's wrong with them. Whereas on this one here and my full-size one, they, the ones that are in the corner are okay. Or like up here towards the emitter are all right. But the ones here, in the middle, they're the ones that have dry rotted and come off. And I like to keep it looking accurate. So when Master Replica was still in business, I know that people could contact the company and they would just send out new gaskets for people to put on. But now, obviously 13 years later, that is no longer an option. Luckily, I did a little internet research and I came up with a solution. And that is, I went to Home Depot and picked up these. Now this is for the full size, the 1:1 scale saber. And then for the 0.45 scale saber, use these number 35. I'll hold them up here so you can get the dimensions if you need it. And these are decent replacements. I've already got one on. This one here, you see it looks just fine. It fits in perfectly well. And they're very easy. It's a typical rubber gasket. It's pretty easy to move along and get it in the correct place. I'll show you on this, and it's a little difficult for me to show on camera the full scale one, but I'll show you that. I'll cut away and fix it, and then I'll show you when it's on there. But you can see they just go on fairly easy. And they just go right in. There's a little groove that they fit right in, and no problem whatsoever. Now let's see here. Oops, a little too far. So that's what this one's back to that. So now I'll take a quick break from filming and I will put on these gaskets, which are a little more snug, the 17s. So, but I will put them on and show you what it looks like when I'm finished. Okay, so this literally took me about 2 minutes to do. I did have one slight problem on this one. It was when I was bringing the gasket over, the first one. Typical me. First one I always screw up, and not that it was a big deal, but I got stuck in this groove, which does not. It's not supposed to have a gasket in it, and I couldn't get it out, so I had to cut it very carefully because I didn't want to scratch it. But after that, what I was able to do is I just made sure that I was holding the gasket with my fingers after I got it over. I'm going to stretch it to get it over this emitter. But once I got to about here, I put my fingers in it like this and just brought it down. Then over these knobs and everything else that got it into the positions that I needed. So that was really the only difficult part that I had. It's not a big deal. I mean, like I said, I got a bunch of these now, these O-rings, and they're fairly inexpensive. They're only like a couple of bucks at Home Depot for these, and I also now have a bunch of spares because I figure eventually these are also going to dry rot. But these were it's nice to have them back to looking the way they were when I originally got them. So that's pretty much it for now. Hopefully, if you have any of these sabers in your collection and we're looking for a fix, I hope this helps. If you were looking at getting into prop replica collecting, I wish you luck. It is definitely a rabbit hole. I started, like I said, with these 0.45 scale sabers, and it was just a big, they were really addicting. I just felt like there was like a bunch that I needed. I mean, I have an Obi-Wan focused in my collection, so I wanted all the Obi-Wan hilts, and getting the one from A New Hope, the battle damaged looking, beat up one, was really hard to do because they made them exclusives. I mean, I still once in a while you can see them on eBay for the 1-to-1 scale sabers, and I'm still like, that's too rich for my blood right now. But definitely the ones that I have, I absolutely love, and they, like I said, they display well. If you see it, check my room tour, you'll see them in there. And it's just something I really enjoy. It was something that I didn't start out when I was Star Wars collecting. It was mainly, first off, it was my childhood toys, and then, as I was older, when they brought Star Wars figures back, I kind of started collecting the figures again, and then eventually I evolved into these, and the Force Effect sabers are also just great to have. I mean, the Black Series ones aren't perfect. They're not, it's not something that's 1-to-1, perfectly scaled with the movie prop for the most part. Like I have the Count Dooku 1-to-1 scale like this, and I held it up to the Black Series Count Dooku saber that came out earlier in 2020, and because of the electronics, that the hilt for the Black Series Force Effects is much bigger than the actual hilt that's more movie accurate, but they're still fun. I mean, I like them regardless, and like I said, they look good. Like I have most of them mounted up on the wall, and they look really good. So they're a lot of fun to collect. But hopefully, if you were looking at needing to fix these gaskets, like I said earlier, hope this helps. And until the next time, may the Force be with you.